I don't know. I don't think I have any real faults in it. Like maybe it's just a lot of stuff going on, but they paced it and they brought it all together so cohesively. Like at least, like especially at the end, like it was really poetic and it was really like a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like with each episode, like it all continued to build, right? And then when you got those payoffs and those reveals, I was like, oh man, oh we're going somewhere. So what can I say, bro? This is probably like this is the second, maybe the third. I don't know. But usually, you know what I'm saying, with the podcast, we do it live on Twitch, but your boy fell asleep last night, super early, and like I just my sleep schedule been kind of wild. Um, after all the food comas from Thanksgiving and stuff like that, but we're gonna get back on track. But I definitely still wanted to record the podcast because, we gotta get it out. Like usually, if y'all don't know already, I'll record and stream the podcast live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei on Mondays, and then the VOD and the actual audio will drop on streaming platforms and YouTube on Wednesdays. So we're still like gonna make the time. We're not gonna miss an episode, but it sucks that I missed Monday because I definitely did want to stream. I will say that initially, like I didn't know what I was gonna talk about today. I just didn't know what else to say, just because it's the holidays, and I kind of just been cooling, bruh. Like I just been watching a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll get into that in the weekly recap. But as far as just like everything was just everybody was just chilling in the crib, enjoying what I'm saying, the holidays and stuff like that. So finally, like I said, we're getting back to the grind. Like I literally said it last week of like how like leading up to a holiday, like there's a lot of hype, right? And then once the holiday passes and you get past all the festivities and all of that, it's like tough to get back into the groove of society, if that, and it's all relative too, what I'm saying, because this is what I do. I make a podcast, right? And I wanted to, do it, but I was just knocked out, bro. I couldn't get up, and it was just like, dang, I wish I could, but that's besides the point, man. I want to get into this episode because, there's a lot of things going on in just the Marvel world that I kind of want to talk about a little bit, and it's just a lot of good stuff that I watched over the break, and I'm excited to talk about it. So without further ado, welcome back to the Why I'm Geek show, and this is episode 44. And today we're gonna be talking about a few things, but as I can see from the cover art and the title, one of those things is going to be Arcane, because I finally finished that joint. But before we get into that, let's get into the news. Alright, y'all, so like I said, there's a whole bunch of Marvel stuff going on, man. That's pretty much all I got for news this week. And the first thing is Spiderman No Way Home. So as you could probably guess, bro, or if you haven't seen already, if it's not flooding your timelines, I don't know how it is not doing that, because it definitely did mine. Spider-Man No Way Home tickets finally dropped. So they came out on Monday, and some dropped, like depending on what movie theater you go to. Some dropped at like midnight, and some dropped like throughout the day. AMC was just like the huge one that everybody was talking about, and the site was crashing and all this other stuff, right? I don't go to AMC just because like there's a better movie theater that I like to go to. Not to say anything's wrong with AMC, but it's just like it's just a better one. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so the tickets dropped online, and them joints sold out like there was the PS5, bro. Like instant almost, and people was complaining, like the site was crashing. It was just crazy, bro. And um it's weird because, like, I don't know if this is people's first time going back to the movies, or they waited for this moment to do this, but I feel like it was almost like a setup, bro, honestly, because I think that if it didn't get leaked, or if they didn't announce that they're dropping the tickets on Monday, then there wouldn't have been like this crazy hype or crazy like tear that people went on trying to get those tickets, bro. Because I seen somewhere where they say people are trying to resell them for like thousands of dollars, and it's just like it's like PS5 all over again. You know what I'm saying? And it's because, like, not to say I don't think they should announce when they are going to release the tickets, but I don't ever remember them really announcing, when the tickets are going to drop. Maybe Endgame was another one, but even for like those movies, I felt like it was a lot closer to the actual date, right? And I mean, I guess it's like 2 weeks out now, a little bit over 2 weeks, so it's not that bad. But like, I don't know, ever since the whole PS5 debacle, I feel like these release dates have been, like, especially like online release dates, have been pretty wild, like, and especially if you're only releasing those tickets online, you know now I was able to secure my tickets, you know what I'm saying, so I'm gonna be good to go to watch that joint on Thursday. But a lot of people just don't want to get spoiled, right? They don't want to get spoiled. So like on that Thursday, when I go see that joint, my phone gonna be off the whole day, like whole day. I'm not gonna look at nothing, you know what I'm saying, because the first show I think starts at like 3, right? But I'm not going to like the last show that night. So like up until that point, I'm a just be chilling, and then I'm gonna be in and it wouldn't have been such a big deal if I wasn't like leaving that same weekend to go go see some of my friends. So it's just like, I was like, man, I gotta make sure I see this joint before I go, because I don't want to be stressing trying to go see it when it's just like, dang, the ticket's probably already gone, and it's just like, I would have sucked if I wouldn't have been able to see it on Thursday. But I just think that was crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if because this is gonna be definitely the biggest movie of the year, right? They announced like the actual, like, I think it's like 2.5 hours. It's like one of Marvel's longest movies, which I think it deserves that. I think we're getting to that space of like these bigger movies that need that amount of runtime to really get what they're like trying to get across. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at that. I think it's like this whole like last few months had just been, ever since the trailer dropped, every single day something new with Spidey, or people talking something else with Spidey, or talking about Tom Holland. That's another thing I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. But it's just, Spiderman has just been dominating the freaking timeline, bruh, and it's just crazy. So hopefully you guys are able to secure y'all tickets, and I'm gonna definitely be dropping a review, and then me and Chris are going to do another episode talking about the movie and our thoughts on it. So I'm super excited for that. The next thing I want to talk about, keep it in the Marvel space, is Hawkeye dropping. So Hawkeye dropped with like 2 episodes, and I'm excited, bro. I like Kate and Hawkeye's dynamic, because I don't know, it's like you, like they said, never meet your heroes, right? It's like one of those situations. So it's similar to Spidey, to Peter and Iron Man, Spider-Man and Iron Man dynamic that Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. had with their relationship. Is similar to that, but it's still different, because obviously Kate is older, right? And she got bread, and she's dedicated her whole life to being similar or to being the next Hawkeye, right? That's what she's wanted to do this whole time, and it's dope to see uh, that not only this dropped with 2 episodes. Like I like that because we get to understand what we're really walking into, but also just the fact that we're entering into this new era, where the batons are starting to get passed, right? So I think that's super dope. But I get a little bit more into that in the actual weekly recap. But Hawkeye dropped, and I thought that giant was like a really good actual first 2 episodes, and I'll drop my first impressions of that coming up pretty soon. The next thing I want to talk about was Marvel released a statement. So after Tom Holland released that if he is still playing Spider-Man at the age of 30, then he done did something wrong. It had a lot of people worried, not me per se, because what I'm saying? Like I said in a video I dropped recently, I want to see a time skip for Spidey where we actually get into like the ultimate spider type of Spider-Man. Like I want to see him, become like literally the best. Like, and to do that, we need a time skip. We need him to experience more things, and not just a whole bunch of one-off villains. And I think this movie is definitely going to be a stepping stone to where the Spideyverse actually takes us, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, and I think every Marvel movie going forward, if it's not like an introduction type of movie, will definitely like involve another big hero or maybe villain, depending on what side of the fence that you're on. With that, I think it will involve somebody, especially the shows. You know what I'm saying? Like the shows are a little bit different type of thing because it's just a longer movie. But I think the shows are a way better opportunity to actually, develop those characters so that when we do see them on the big movie screen, it's not just like, oh, okay, this is this person, and we're just supposed to like, just not necessarily love them as a character, but like the more context, the better. You know what I'm saying? But seeing that Marvel said they're going to actually be sticking with Tom Holland for the future of the MCU so far, we don't know how far it goes on. There's talks of there may be a third or a second trilogy on the way. But I think the cool thing about Marvel right now is that they're kind of like, I don't want to say thinking out the box, because they're always thinking out the box, right? But that whole like consistent trilogy era is over, right? With the Iron Man 3s and with the Captain America movies and stuff like that. Like that era of movies, and just like if you have a good trilogy, then you're good to go. You don't need to do anything else. I feel like now we're getting into like a living world type of universe, right? So hopefully they continue on to do this. I can't really speak on like where they're going after this because we haven't seen what the third movie is going to be, but to say that there's at least going to be a fourth one, that has me hyped. For sure. But that's pretty much for the news for this week. Let's get into the weekly recap. Alright, y'all. So first up, man, we got Arcane, man. Arcane is something I talked about last week. It's a show that was, dropped recently, and it's brought to us by League of Legends, which is like the #1 esport in the world, or game in the world right now. And I didn't know necessarily what to expect other than like it looking like beautiful and amazing, because like all of like even though I don't play League of Legends, like I love the character design that they have in that game, and just like the world that they create, other than like what is brought to you on the actual screen when you're playing the game. Like, don't get me wrong, the game is still beautiful, but like the hype reels and like all the advertisements and announcement for new heroes and things like that, those are always really cool. So I was excited to see that they're dropping like an animated show, an animated series on Netflix. And they announced that they're going to be dropping the season 2, but the initial first season, bro, like, it's pretty much perfect, honestly. I don't really have that many, if any, faults to it right now, other than maybe I don't know. I don't think I have any real faults in it. Like, maybe it's just a lot of stuff going on, but they paced it and they brought it all together so cohesively. Like, at least, like, especially at the end, like, it was really poetic and it was really like a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, with each episode, like, it all continued to build, right? And then when you got those payoffs and those reveals, I was like, oh man, oh, we're going somewhere. So I really like this show. I would definitely watch it again. I think I think Jinx is probably like one of the most entertaining characters that I have seen in an animated show in a really long time. If you could draw in comparison, it would be a wilder, well, maybe not wilder, but like, it's like if Harley Quinn was like a cyber genius or like a gadget genius or whatever, like a mad scientist, like, add Harley Quinn to that, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much like the dynamic that her and the main antagonist in this show had. And it didn't, like, the way it started, I never would have thought this was how it was going to end, right? And I don't want to exactly spoil, if you haven't seen the show, I don't want to spoil what happens, but like, there's so many characters that we get to see grow, not only just grow up in general, like, because there's a time skip, but also just like see their character change along with you know what I'm saying, the amount of episodes that we have. And it's not even that many episodes for it to see this change happen. Like, we see characters go from becoming something that they admired as a kid to becoming a thing that they hate, right? And we get characters that are stuck in the past and are, just down bad. We get characters that have this longing for purpose and actual, like, wanting to make a difference in the world. And there's people that actually, like, are on the strive for not only just progress but get held back for actually, like, making something that is detrimental to what they wanted to create. There's so many different threads, and they all lead to this one moment. And that moment, like, was just like, bro, I can't believe it, bro. And we still don't even know, like, we still don't know what happens after that, like the aftermath of it, right? Just know that Jinx goes crazy. That's all I can really say. I think that there's a good amount of loss in this series that I think is warranted, and I don't think they take it lightly. Like, there's, like, the mortality rate for these characters is definitely valid for, like, the world that they live in. And just speaking of the world in general, this is probably like one of the coolest, like, world building and just artistic, like, projects that I've ever seen from an animated show. Like, I don't know what could really top it. The only other, like, show that comes to mind is probably like Avatar, because of how, like, thorough and thought out everything was. But just like, bruh, this joint was great. This joint was freaking great. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. You definitely don't have to be into League of Legends to even watch this show. It's just a good show at the end of the day. Just League of Legends was the one that made it. That's all it really means. And I think you can actually play these characters in League of Legends now. I don't know how it works. I don't play League of Legends, but I think they're available. I also think they might have been in Fortnite. I might be tripping on that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, Arcane was freaking dope. Next up, Narcos, man. Narcos. I finished that. Like I said, bro, I was finishing shows this week, bro. Like like, I got my iPad and I was just chilling. I was just chilling, watching shows, and just vibing, bro. Um, but Narcos, man. I finished Narcos, and I said this earlier. Like, I dropped a video about it. Like, how it's just it's just different. This season felt different. And then I also started seeing things where they said that the show is getting canceled, so we're not going to get another season. But it's a little bit disappointing, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. Like, compared to seasons prior, I felt like this season was just a whole bunch of stories that we done seen before, right? And I felt like all of these storylines and plots and things like that didn't really lead to nothing that was super substantial other than just another narco basically losing. And did he really lose? That's one thing that we don't know, because I think they faked his death, but that's still a mystery, right? um and it's also weird to have this whole dynamic with this show, because this is based off of real stuff that happened to real people, right? So it's not even like you find yourself. It's really weird because you find yourself in moments rooting for both sides, and not necessarily rooting for them, like, in a sense, like, oh man, like, I hope they do this and I hope they do that. It's just like, you don't know. Like, at least I don't know where it's going. So I was just like making assumptions and making my guesses of like what's going to end up happening. um but it was just a lot of wild stuff happening. There was a lot of like civilian like types of like, I feel like civilians definitely lost the most in this actual like season, I guess. Because it's just like, there was like, I won't say there was like no honor in it, but it was just like, like, I guess there was just no regard, because they was really literally fighting for their life for a lot of it. And a lot of them were on the run, and it was just a lot of like up and down between the different cartels. And there was some love stories in it. There was some just like, you know different dynamics that have been better in other episodes. I really thought like this was going to be the season that El Chapo really takes over. It was going to see that, but that didn't really happen. He did a lot of stuff from the shadows and things like that, but I was expecting. I was like, okay, that'll probably happen next season, right? But to find out that it's probably going to get canceled, it's just like, dang, like, we just got it back, now it's gone. Like, I don't know why I got canceled, but it might have. I haven't really confirmed that, so it was just a little disappointing, just the way. Not only that it ended, because it's just like, dang, ain't nobody really win, and I think that's part of the point of the season too. It's just like, like, there's no really winning in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at what cost? Like, at what cost? Like, there was a lot of loss in this joint for sure. And it definitely moved away from just like talking about the actual like numbers and how they really built the empire and infrastructure and things like that. And like, a lot of like the first initial seasons of Narcos and things like that was how they came up with this game, and how the different innovative ways that they created to make that amount of bread that they did. But this episode is more focused on like relationships and family and borders and like just territory and status, I feel like. So I don't know. I'm feeling really conflicted about this episode. I probably still got to think about it a little bit more. I said this episode of the season, but I definitely did finish it, and I was a little bit like, dang, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. Insecure. So Insecure probably had its funniest episode, but at the same time, bro, like, I was talking to my friend about this, bro. Like, maybe it's because it's the last season, but it just don't. It's not hitting the same like how I used to, bruh. Like this was probably like one of the more funny episodes, and that's because Kelly wrote it. So Kelly is, let me see, let me look it up. Let me look her name up because I want to give her flowers because she's my favorite character on Insecure. Let me see. And she done been in a lot of different stuff too, other than this movie. Natasha Rothwell. But she wrote this one, and I found out like from the little wind down or whatever after the episode that she was like one of the first writers that, you know, they hired to be on the show. And I think this was probably like one of the like more funny and quirky episodes. Stuff definitely did happen within it, but it's just like, I don't know, these episodes feel so short, and the fact that, you know, it's like we're running out of time. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like we're running out of time for these actual like things to happen. And I think the whole, I don't know. I just want these characters to get their just due, right? And moments that I think could have turned up another notch, didn't necessarily happen. Where I thought like the way they kind of like advertised it to us or whatever, and like the actual like hype reel for this episode. But I think that like I said, I'm still sticking to the narrative that Issa not gonna end up with nobody. I still think that's how it's gonna be, bruh, because what's going on, team? I know you guys are enjoying the video right now, but I want to let you guys know that not only are we making videos like this every day, Monday through Friday here on YouTube, but we're streaming on Twitch. We're having these conversations. I want to see you guys in the chat so we can talk about all this stuff live, man. We got a dope community over there, and I would love you guys to join. So check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. Link is in the description. Yeah, and I'll see y'all in the chat. Back to the video. I don't see her and Nathan working out right now, because it's like they got into it a little bit in this episode, but it's just like Nathan has put his heart out there for Issa so many times to get rejected, and then like he gets a little bit of gratification and like the actual, like, you know, her telling him that she loves him, and then also like them being together now, and just a whole bunch of like back and forth, right? Where I feel like a lot of what he's doing right now is trying to like protect himself from being hurt even more, just in case it just doesn't work out again, because that's just like the story of their relationship, like going like too fast too soon, but then also like, all right, let's slow it down, and then like, nah, like I want to know how you really feel. And it's like a whole lot of conversations that need to happen that I feel like both of them are not really wanting to have because they're scared of the result. I think right now Molly is the star of this season, even though she's not like the main character, but like I see more growth in her life than Issa's right now, as far as just like being becoming like a better person, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, it's like I feel like Nathan's right where he said Issa don't really know what she wants, even though she's thinking she wants them. But like any sign, like when she saw Lawrence in the hospital, like with the baby and Condola, like it was like a whole switch. It was like, dang, I forgot Nathan even existed for a little bit, right? And it's just like they need to come to terms with like what they really doing, right? And they need to be honest with each other, I think, for it to have even a chance. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it. The last thing I wanted to talk about in the weekly recap, and I talked about Hawkeye already a little bit, so like I don't necessarily think I need to talk about it anymore, because I don't really have any more thoughts on it. I'm gonna have my first impressions that drop um, pretty soon. So, I go over it there already, but you know what I'm saying, it's a good show. Um, but I definitely wanted to talk about Boruto, bro, because I'm back locked in, bro. I'm back locked into this anime, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, there's so many good moments, but there's so many like, I don't know if it's the art. I don't know what it is. It's just like, I feel like it's because it's like it has so many episodes I have to catch up on. Like, I like where the world is going, and I like the journey that we're on right now. At least where I'm at in the story, um, and it's a weird place to be again, because it's like I'm watching Naruto all over again, but it's just like in the future, and there's not like a there's not a Naruto and Sasuke in this, right? And that's what we've been leading up to. But I don't know who's going to be that person that pushes Boruto, like how Naruto pushed Sasuke and Sasuke pushed Naruto, and how their dynamic is going to actually like progress in here, because you know um where Naruto was more about like the differences and disagreements that you have with everybody, I feel like Boruto is more about like progression of like the ninja world, but like still at the same time sticking to traditions and things like that, and accepting change and things like that. But it's not like, it feels a lot more broader in the sense of like Boruto is more about the world, whereas Naruto is more about like the person, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I like it. I like it a lot right now. Um, and seeing even more like innovations of the Rasengan is cool, bruh. Because it's like, yo, like it's just like easy to think, you know what I'm saying? Like logically it makes sense. Like, we've seen a whole bunch of different iterations of um the actual Rasengan from Naruto, right? Whether it was in the movie or whether it was in the later parts of the anime, right? And the only thing we've done seen is the Rasengan get bigger, right? But with Boruto, it's like I'm gonna do the exact opposite, because I don't have the same, they're not the same person. He doesn't have karma, he doesn't have as much chakra, and he can't really waste it. So he has to be a lot more tactful, and like, that's where they said like, he's a lot like the fourth Hokage or Minato, and I was like, oh, that's tough, bro, because like the lineage is making sense, right? And they're starting to apply more of like these other side characters into the fold of how the ninja world is going, and I think that's dope as well. But seeing how I wouldn't even thought of like making the Rasengan smaller and being at more high pressure and doing, I don't know if it's more damage per se, but it's just like, it's different, but it's his, so it's just like, that's fire, bro. That's super fire. So all I can really say right now is that I'm locked in. I'm super far behind from everybody else. I think I'm on episode like 170 something right now, and I don't even know where it's at, but it feels super far away. That's all I can really say right now. But that's pretty much it for the weekly recap. Let's get into the filler arc. All right, y'all. So, for the filler arc this week, it goes back to kind of what I was talking about in the beginning of the episode with, falling asleep for before I could start the stream and actually stream this episode. Like I said, I'm just recording this locally right now. I'm not even live, but I think I'm going to go back. Not even a think. I'm going back to streaming Monday through Friday. I've tried the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday thing, but I want to be live more. You know what I'm saying? If like I'm only gonna be live for like an hour, at least an hour or more for like the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday show per se, then I still want to be able to like, do other stuff and stream and just, you know, be consistently there. You know what I'm saying? To actually build up. So like, right now the time is 3 o'clock. So like that's when I'm gonna start the stream next time. And I also just haven't finished a lot of games, right? Like there's plenty of games I still have yet to finish, like Kenna. And then also, I gotta redo Ghost because I haven't beaten it on PS5 yet. There's a lot of things that like, like Halo that's out right now that I could play. And yeah, like I realized like I don't have to do exactly what everybody else does. It's good to try stuff, but it's really just finding your own groove. And I really feel like streaming at night is way harder than streaming during the day, because I just like it's easier for me to edit at night than stream. Like, you know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, you know? So it's just finding like I was still trying to figure out that right time. And 3 o'clock might not even be the right time, but right now that's what I'm going to try. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And then speaking of Halo, I'm curious to how y'all feeling about Halo right now. I had a conversation with my homie Chris about like just the future of that game and how long the hype is gonna last. I think Halo's here to stay, honestly. Like if they do the actual league right and actual like competitive correctly, like it got like a 9 score on IGN. You can take that how you will, but I think it's here to stay. I haven't really played that much of Halo, but from what I've seen, like I'm excited for the actual like tournaments and stuff, and like the lands, and just that whole dynamic. And a lot of people are switching to Halo, so I'm excited to see like how that goes. But it's just like how long is that going to actually last when it's going to take however long to make the next one. So it's different from COD, and it's different from a lot of these living games, and it's just exciting to see. And then once the VR come out, then that's when it's like really gonna turn up. So I'm curious to see like what y'all thoughts on Halo. That might be a poll that I might do this week. I have been putting polls out there at the bottom of the episodes on Spotify and stuff like that, so I'm curious to see what y'all think. And then last thing, True Story is a show on Netflix that I started the first episode of. I didn't finish it, which is not a big deal. Like you might say like, you didn't finish the episode, so it can't be good. But I'm interested. And it's a show with Kevin Hart and I want to say Wesley Snipes. I could be wrong. I don't know, but yeah, it's basically a show that's like about him, but not about him. Like it's a different story, but it's just like he's like basically playing himself in a sense, because he's playing a comedian, right, from Philly and things like that. So it definitely took a turn in this first episode. I'm excited to see where it goes, but I don't know what it is about Kevin Hart, but when he plays a character that is too much like himself and not like super animated and trying to be the funny guy, it's weird, bro. It's weird. Like he has more of a serious role, but like also like just a real regular dude type of role in this. And I don't know if it's because I'm not used to that, but it's just a weird. It's really weird right now. Hopefully it grows on me. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's something that I'm gonna be getting into this week. So I'll let y'all know how I feel about that as the week goes along. But once again, bro, I appreciate y'all for tuning into this episode. Like I said, I apologize for not streaming this one on Twitch, but you know what I'm saying. Definitely be on the lookout for more streams Monday through Friday. Like I said, I'm back. I'm coming back to the grind. So, yeah, man, appreciate y'all. And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, rate the podcast 5 stars, leave a comment, and I'm holler at y'all in the next one, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep growing. Stay going. It's me, boy G. I'm gone. Peace.
Dang, I know they like that video, bruh. That's crazy. I can't wait to see the comment. Whoa, what are you still doing here? Well, since you're here, you might as well hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because if you didn't, what are we really here for? If you're still here at this point, you probably still want to know and talk more about it. So come through on the Twitch stream, man. Twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. I want to see you in the chat. Let me know you came from YouTube, and we could talk about today's video, discuss anime, movies, films. Y'all already know what it is, bro. Wait, that's still not it? Oh, I know what it is. You was wondering about this drip right here. Well, you can check that out on IG, Growth Apparel. That's Growth Apparel, GRWTH. It's on the screen right now. So go copy you a tee, man. I'm gonna see y'all in chat. I'm gonna see y'all in these comments. I appreciate y'all once again. Y'all already know I rocks with you, bro. I'm out of here. You still here? Ah, y'all gang.